Hello. So, in the spirit of the holidays, we're going to do a few different variations of some trees. And we're also going to do a few different variations of snowflakes. So get your tips and come back and join me.
Give it to me like...
Hey guys, welcome to another video on my channel. So as you can see, I've got my tips ready. We're going to do 3 and 3. I have buffed them and I've primed them so they're ready to go. So I decided to start off with 3 color variations. So I went with a black background for 2 of them, and I wanted to alternate. So a black tree, a black snowflake, right? You get what I'm saying? So I'm putting 1 coat of the black on 2 of my nails, and I'm curing those. In hindsight, I should have added a little more to, well, at least to one of the black ones, but you'll see. And of course, cure when you're done. So I grabbed this Beetles color. It's like a sparkly forest green. I thought it'd be cool for the tree. But first, what I wanted to do is make sure that the black nails were matted. So I'm just matting them here, popping them in the lamp because it's easier to draw on when they're sort of like a rougher surface. I think I'm using a Beetles matte top coat for these. So you could use white gel polish, but I noticed that it is not, it's not very pigmented, and it doesn't, kind of smears, it gets a little messy. So I grabbed this. You can see the consistency, it's almost like a paint. And this was amazing to work with. You can just draw, like the outline comes out like nice and strong. You can see that there's pigment in the whole line. It sits on my brush well, on my liner brush well. So yeah, I'd suggest like a paint sort of gel for outlines. It works so much nicer. So on the first one, and I don't know, did I do this the wrong way? I think I should, maybe should have done it the other way. I'm just drawing a triangle in the middle of my nail. No, this is the right way because it's, well, I guess you could do it either way. So I do realize I'm a little off center, but that's okay. I'm just doing some little flicks at the end just to make it a little more, I don't know, fancy somehow, because this is a very simple tree design. So I picked 3 fairly easy tree designs, and I did take inspiration from some other content creators and nail techs, nail artists. So I will link that in the description box or put it on the screen, just so you kind of know where I got those from. Alright, so after deciding to hold off on starting my snowflake on the black nail, I'm using this beautiful blue sort of shimmer. I'm painting 2 nails with the blue, and then I'm using this, this is like a reflective red, sort of berry red, you know? So I did 2 of each. popping those in the lamp to cure. In the blue ones, I matte, but these ones I do not. Right? Yeah, I don't matte at first, these ones. And you can see how the blue turns out. Like, it's so nice, even without the shimmer, where it's sort of muted. It's like a gorgeous color. So this is the that green sparkle that I'm going to use for my tree. And I'm just using a fairly small liner brush, so I can kind of get like a little blob on the end. And I'm just painting in so that it's a little bit raised in the middle of the tree, or in the middle of my triangle. So just making sure to get in all the little corners. That's why actually, what am I using? I'm using a petal brush for this. Sorry, I am using a petal brush. I think I do the corners with a little liner brush, just to peek the color into those little triangular corners. And then I'm taking a shimmer gold. I'm using a dotting tool, and I'm just putting a shimmery dot for the star right on top. And that's going to top that one off. And like, you can fiddle around with it. You can put lines through the middle, like if you want, I don't know, to make it more abstract. But once you're happy with it, pop it in the lamp to cure. So for my snowflake on the black nail, it is matted, you can see. And I've pulled out my gemstones, and I've sort of placed them how I want to place them on the nail. So I did use glue. I could have used the top coat, just gone over the nail, and then, you know, or even like a matte top coat, painted the whole nail and then put them in. But that's okay, whatever. I did it this way. So I'm just making a little flower with the blue, and then I'm going to put these little black crystals right into each of those 4 corners, and that's going to be the center of my snowflake. So I'm just straightening them up here. This dries very quickly, so the top coat would have been a better choice, because once it dries, you can't move it. It won't budge. All right. I still put it in the lamp though. So that is my first tree out of the lamp. So she's done for now. I'm going to put her aside and get back to the snowflake on the black nail. So I'm taking my white, again, the paint, art paint color, art gel paint, and I'm just doing my lines to start. And then I'm just adding these little flicks to the top, and I add a few details around the side. So I will let you watch this, and then we'll be back. So if you have trouble doing those little flick things, number 1, a longer liner brush, and number 2, you got to get some of this paint gel, art paint gel. It makes all the difference. So the only issue is, do you see how it leaves a bit of a line? So I have to be real careful with my dots. I almost have to like twirl it off and let it boop, pop back into the middle and then level up, because it does leave these sort of long little tails sometimes if you're not careful enough. And then she goes in the lamp. So starting with my tree, I should have done another version of the tree. I don't know why I tried this one. It didn't quite come out the way I wanted to, or the way I wanted it to. But I do make it work. So I'm just sort of doing like little swoops back and forth. And that's supposed to be like, obviously, your evergreen. And then you see what I did? I actually, I put some of that shimmer in the center to make it look like shimmering snow sort of on the tree. And then I topped it with a jewel. And I'm sorry, I mistakenly did not film that. So, but I cured the first tree and then I went back in. I did the rest, put my gem, and then cured it. And for my second blue nail, I'm doing just a different variation of a snowflake. So I did the 4 dots. Again, this works way better with this gel paint. So center dot, and then your 4 corners. And then with a long liner brush, I'm joining them together so that it kind of looks like it's coming out of the circle, into the circle, and then out of the circles again. In each direction, north, south, east, and west. And then I'm putting 4 dots pretty symmetrically, at least I'm trying to do it symmetrically, in the middle of these sort of cross lines. And I'm just joining them again with a little bit of a tail. This is a very simple snowflake, but it looks really cool if you use the right gel to do it. I find it really difficult to do this with even Madame Glam's Perfect White. It's just not thick enough. And it just looks, I don't know, super messy or wrong to me. And I'm just putting, a couple accent dots. I wanted to keep it pretty simple. I'm just sharpening up my edges and curing. So for my first reflective red nail, I decided to go over it with a diamond top coat. So I'm just sort of smearing that all over it, just to add some more sparkles to it as if it needed it. But I thought it would look cool for the tree design. And for this one, I left it as is. Now, I could have matted it, but I decided not to. So this one, I'm taking that white gel paint. I'm just sort of drawing an outer layer, around the free edge of the whole nail. And then I just cut a little bit of a sponge, and I'm going to sponge it in so it's sort of like a, stained glass window with snow and frost on it. That's kind of what it looks like to me. So I'm just dabbing it until I like the look, until it's sort of blended a little better than that. And I'm trying to make it as even as possible so that the red showing through the middle is symmetrical. And then I'm going to cure. And then for my simple snowflake, I thought about using sort of a, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling that well today, so I'm a little slower in the brain than normal. I grabbed like a stud gem. It's got like a hematite sort of look to it, so it's a bit silvery. And I just thought that would match sort of that. It's like a toned down snowflake. I didn't want it too busy, so yeah, I thought that was enough for that. So diamond top coat cured, stained glass with snow and frost cured. I'm taking black pigmented gel polish, and I'm just doing the stem at the top, and I'm going around sort of in a swirl to do the rest of the tree. And then I'm going to add some details to it, but I'm just making sure that the black stands out enough. And then we're going to add some Christmas baubles and a star with the gemstones. I also don't know what I'm doing with this black. I tried a different background to see if the nails would stand out more, but I find they're kind of darker. So it didn't really work, and really not a great festive color, but so yeah, sorry about that. I might go back to the pink. I even tried a purple underneath. You can see it sort of peeking out, but yeah. Anyways, so for this one, I'm doing a star. So north, south, east, west, straight line up and down, straight line across with my very long liner brush. And then I'm doing 2 on diagonal. And then I'm dotting in the middle of each of the lines. And that sort of acts as a guide to do your little triangles. So this helped me a lot. Try to keep it as even as possible. So as I was doing this, I started to worry I was going to mess it up. So I decided, let's flash cure in between just to hold it, and then we will continue on. So I'm going to pull my other red out, and we will finish this one off. So I'm just adding some more decorations with the gemstones, and these are actually laying my perimeter in a sense, I feel, of the tree, because I noticed the little squiggly line doesn't really look like a tree. So when you put the little baubles on it, you know, make the bottom ones a little bit further out, the middle ones a little bit closer in, and you get what I'm saying. And then I'm topping it with my Starburst flat back, and I'm using the glue again. And then we're curing. So for this one, I'm just doing a couple lines at the top. This is actually it's pretty easy to do, this snowflake. You just need a really great liner brush, and like I said, a really great white that doesn't leave a tail. So I'm touching up with my teeny weeny liner brush, doing sort of dots in the middle. And that, I think, is the end of that one. Oh no, so I'm adding some dots to the end. I don't know, looking back, I'm thinking, should I have done that? Because it kind of looks cool sharp, but it's all right. This one I'm going to matte, so it's going to look really pretty in the end. And it looks pretty now, so. Okay, so there are the 4 so far. We're going to pull the other 2 out of the lamp and come back, take a look at them all together, and then we will decide our top coats to finish. So there we go. We've got our 3 trees and our 3 snowflakes on each color. I did add some more gemstones, you can see, to my really simple snowflake. But here's deciding what we're doing. So we're going to matte this one. You know what? I'll let you watch it, and I'll come back and show you the reveal, and you'll see which is which, okay? That's a better idea. Okay, there they are. So the first one we matted, as you can see. Wow, this is a really cool look. It almost looks baroque-ish. This one I did a shiny top coat because I wanted that blue sparkle color to show through. And then this one we matted as well, so it looks super cool. It's like frosted glass with our snowflake. And then for our trees, so this one, I should have put a shiny shimmer, and I could have kept it matte, but on the black, I should have had some shimmer back there. I think that would have added a nice effect. But then I just used a shiny top coat for the tree, obviously. For this one, I only did the tree again, and our like shimmery polish. And then for this one, I wanted it to be super reflective, so I did it all with a shiny top coat. And there we go, our 3 versions: easy, Christmas trees, and snowflakes. Super easy, beginner friendly, as long as you got the right tools. Do not skimp on a liner brush. And also for the white, always use the right consistency of a white color. And I'm sorry, this background does not do these nails justice. They look much more beautiful, bright. So let me know which one is your favorite. I'm not sure. I'm really liking my baroque snowflake, and this snowflake too. Yeah. I will list any of the artists that inspired these in the description box, and I probably put it on the screen a couple times. Or as far as the products I used, I kind of did a mishmash of a bunch of stuff. So I used some beetles, I used some, oh my gosh, colors I don't even know the brand too. But yeah, I'll list what I can in the description for you. And of course, I apologize for feeling under the weather today. I'm like lying down doing this voiceover right now. But I do want to thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys next time.